Hi everyone, my name is Oluwajoba and you're welcome to Gospel Keys Easy. In this video, we will be looking at 14 things that can take your playing to the next level. So if you like the idea of knowing 14 different concepts that can really take your playing to another level as a gospel musician, then you should sit tight and enjoy this video. And if you are new to this channel, subscribe right now so you don't miss out on our future uploads. So without wasting much time, let's begin. And the first thing we will be talking about is chord progressions and chord substitutions. So let's get started. Alright, so let's talk about chord progressions and chord substitutions. And for this segment, I'll be talking about a 5-1-4 chord progression, okay? And then we will be doing some chord substitution for this chord progression. So I'll just do this in form of a very quick example with the song Jesus is the Answer. Okay, so this chord progression is a 5-1-4 chord progression. And the reason why we learn these chord progressions is because we want to add flavor to them. We want to make them sound nice. We don't want to play the same 5-1-4 all the time. So I played this. So I'm going to the chord 4, but instead of going straight to the chord 4, I do. So that's a chord 5, and on my left hand I have G, D, on my right hand I have F, A, B flat, D. Okay, so now let's do a chord substitution for the 5-1-4. So I'll do that one more time. Okay, so instead of doing this, you can do this. Okay, so this is what I'm doing right here. So on my left hand I have F, A, B flat, D, and on my right hand I'm playing a D minor chord. So I play these chords in succession: D minor, A minor, B flat major. Then that's the chord 1, so this is the 5. And on my left hand I have E, A, B flat, D. On my right hand I have A major. Okay, so I could do this as well. So on my left hand I have F, A, B flat, D. On my right hand I have D minor. Okay, so let's go to the next topic: how to make your chords sound nice. Let's go to another key. Let's go to the key of A. One way to play the piano would be to do this. Okay, that's good, but it can be better. And what you can do is you can do some accents and toning. So you can accent some of your chords by playing them harder, and then you can play the rest softer. Okay, so this is how you can make your playing to sound really nice, and you can do a lot more to make your playing sound really nice, but in this video I'll be talking about the accent and toning. So you can do this. Okay, so I'm doing, so this is loud. So this is what you can do to your playing to really make it sound very nice. And of course, another concept which we will be looking at later in this video is coming up here, and this is the concept of melodic feel. So instead of me to do I'm doing okay, so as you can tell, I was doing stuff like this. So that's accent, accent, toning, accent, toning. Okay, so this is another way you can make your playing to really sound very nice and not too basic. Okay, alright, so let's move on to the next topic right now. But before we go on to the next topic, I have a quick message for you. So before I continue, I would like to let you know that if you find this tutorial too fast, then you can actually get the full version, and it's called the Gospel Piano Masterclass Xtreme. And this course is very powerful. In fact, I've been working on it for almost 1 year now. It is very detailed and very informative. And you know what? When I started making this course in the early stages, I actually realized that I was going to be putting too much into the course. I realized I was going to be putting too much information into one single package. However, I decided to go through with it anyway, and I just hope that a lot of people out there will take advantage of this opportunity. This course is made up of 14 chapters, and the total number of hours of the videos are over 8 hours. And this video upload is just a teaser of what you actually get from the real course itself. For more info, check the links in the description box below. Now let's go back to the video tutorial. Okay, so right now let's talk about passing tones and formulas. Okay, so when I say passing tones and formulas, I'm referring to things you can pull out of your pocket or out of your memory and apply to your playing from time to time, okay, to make your playing to sound really fantastic and really nice. And things like this are circle of fifths, chromatic passing tones, like say doing a tritone before you do a chord 2, some tritone moves, like doing a 2-5-1 to the chord you want to play, or a 5-1 to the chord you want to play. And you know, there are a lot of things you can do to your playing. Okay, so let's say you're going from the 1 to the 4. Okay, actually let's do this in the key of G. Okay, so let's look at an example where I play the song How Great Is Our God, and what I'll do is I'll play it a normal way, and then I'll apply these passing tones and formulas. Okay, Alright, so as you can tell, on the first try, I played the song normally, and then I did some passing tones, and some of the other things I did are just like formulas, things you can memorize and apply to any song. So I did the circle of fifths. So the circle of fifths is like 6 with the 2, 5, 1, 4. And then I did this. So let's talk about this one. So this is something you can do when you're going to the chord 2. So instead of going to the chord 2 like so, 1, 6, 2, 5. So you can do this. So I'm doing a tritone to the chord 2. Okay, I could apply this principle to a chord 6 as well. Alright, I know that I may be going too fast, but if you feel like I'm going too fast, then you should get the full course. Okay, so let's go on to the next topic, and now we'll be talking about infinite chord progressions. And this is a concept I just came up with because there are some chord progressions in gospel music that when you start to play them, it feels like they're not going to end. Okay, and these are things you can actually apply to regular playing, and you can play these things as talk music or as something you just play as background music. And I'm going to show you this example in the key of E flat. Okay, so that was a very simple chord progression that you can do a lot with. And now let's go to the next topic, how to end a song. Okay, as we all know, a lot of times songs end on the 2-5-1. So for example, in the key of B, okay, so you can end your song 2-5-1 normally. However, you could do something like this. Okay, so this is the melody. So this is just one of the many things you can do to end your song. Okay, now let's talk about worship techniques. When it comes to worship in church or in a program or something like that, there are certain things you should be mindful of. And when you're mindful of these things, you will be able to play and flow with the minister or flow with the choir in such a way that people are blessed. Let's do this in the key of F sharp. let's talk about one concept that really helps your worship, and this is playing open chords. Now, if I played a chord like this is an open chord because I have lots of spaces between my fingers, okay? So I have a 1, the 5, and then the 1 here. So there is a big gap between my fingers, and even on my right hand I have a big gap between my fingers, okay? And as opposed to that, I could play this, and this is a more closed chord voicing. So I'm trying to play closed voicings now for you to see the difference. Okay, but during worship you want to play chords like this. So this is just one of the many things you should be doing while playing worship, and there are other things you should be doing, like how to mix the right chords. Like there are also specific chords you should be playing, and then drop 2 chords are something you should be doing during worship. Okay, drop 2 chords are very nice and they go well with worship songs. And you also have some very fantastic nice moves you can do to end worship songs, okay? And we will not be going into the full details of this, okay? So now let's go to the next concept, and for this one I'll be showing you a demonstration in the key of C sharp. So let's look at one way you can use diatones, and there are several ways you can use diatones. I use diatones all the time, especially for intros and mid-tros and stuff like that. Diatones are very powerful, okay? Let's do the song How Great Is Our God. Okay, so this is what I was doing with the diatone of 4 sharp. That's the diatone of 4 sharp. So instead of going straight to the 4, sing with me how great. So instead of doing that, I'm doing this. So this is the diatone I'm playing, and on my left hand I'm playing the G and B. On my right hand I'm playing the F, B flat, and E flat. So I do this move. Okay, so this is what you can do with diatones. You can do this and much more. Now let's talk about Tritones mastery. And the Masterclass Xtreme course is actually good for people who want to master how to use the tritones. A lot of people find it hard to grasp the concept of the tritone. But what I've done in this course is I've laid out the tritones you actually need to start using. Like when you want to start playing tritones, you're new to tritones and you want to start playing tritones. There are a number of tritones that you can start to apply to your playing right away, like the tritone for chord 6. Let's do this in the key of E. Okay, so let's say you want to play chord 3 to the 6. So this is a tritone for chord 6, and I've used it as a passing tone. And this is what you can do with tritones. If you're new to tritones, you can start to apply tritones to your chord 6 immediately. Okay, you could even play the tritone, without playing any other chord. Like say you want to do chord 3. Okay, so what I'm doing right here is I'm playing a chord progression, and at some point I get to the chord 3 and then the chord 6. So instead of doing the chord 6, if you're new to tritones, what you can do is you do your chord 3, then you do your chord 6 tritone. Okay, so this is how I've broken down tritone in this course. So in this video, we will not be talking much about this, but I'll give you this. You're not sure how to use tritones. Use tritone for chord 6, okay, once in a while. So you're playing a song, you get to the 3. So instead of going to the chord 6, just go to the tritone. And in the key of E, the tritone for chord 6 will be F, B on my left hand, on my right hand, that will be E, A, C sharp. Let's use a song as an example, and the song I'll be using is There Is None Like You. Okay, so that's the tritone. So I'll do that again. So that's the tritone. So I'll do that one more time. Okay, so that's tritones mastery for you. Now let's go to the next topic, and now let's talk about simple soloing techniques. Okay, alright, so there are easy and simple ways you can start to solo. If that is something you have found difficult to do, you can actually start to solo using simple principles. Like you can solo with the pentatonic scale, which is quite easy. Most people already solo with the pentatonic scale, and a lot of them may not even know that they are doing the pentatonic scale. And let's do this in the key of F. So that's the pentatonic scale. So it's made up of the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, and the 6. I think this is one of the easiest ways to solo as a beginner. Now, there are a lot of things you can do with the pentatonic scale. Like for example, if you're playing the chord 1 and it's a major chord, you can solo the pentatonic scale for the scale degree of 1. You can solo the scale degree 2 pentatonic scale. Okay, and you can also solo the pentatonic scale of the 5th degree. Okay, so let's look at a minor chord, for example. So a chord 2 in the key of F would be. So you can solo the B flat pentatonic scale. You can also solo the pentatonic scale of the flatted 7th degree, which would be. can also solo pentatonic scale of the 4th degree, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can solo this pentatonic scale. So with this knowledge in mind, you can take your pentatonic scale solo into the next level. So instead of doing an F major pentatonic scale over all your chords in the key of F, you can mix things up. Okay, so this is one way you can do your soloing. You can do that, and you can take things up a notch by doing all the other options you have with the pentatonic scale. So this is what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is what you can do with pentatonic scales when you mix them up using the principles I gave you earlier. Now let's talk about melodic fills mastery, okay? And first of all, let me explain what melodic fills are, okay? So a basic playing in the key of B would be Alright, so I'm going to play another chord progression now, and this time around I'm going to add some melodic fills. Okay, so as you can tell, the first progression was very straightforward. Something like that. But the second one had loads of melodic fills, like this. Okay, so these are things you can do to your playing that can make your playing to really sound nice. And now I'll give you a very good and usable tip for doing this. So what you can do to start adding melodic fills to your playing is you can start to play the notes of your chord. Okay, so for example, what you can do with a chord 1, for example, is, so that's my chord 1. So if I add the 2, I have a basic B major chord at 2. So you can do this. So this is my chord 4. So I have this for my chord 4. I have E, B. On my right hand I have A flat, B, D flat, E flat, and F sharp. So I can play. I can play some of the notes of the chord. Okay, so another thing you can do is you can really learn how to start arpeggiating your chords. So if you really learn how to arpeggiate your chords, play them one after the other, and sometimes you have to split up the arpeggios between your left hand and your right hand. This is something you just need to be aware of, and once you start to practice it, it should get easier and easier for you to do. And when it comes to melodic fills, you can do melodic fills with single notes. You can do melodic fills with octave notes, 2-note chords, diatone melodic fills, and we have diminished chord melodic fills. So there are a lot of options of what you can do, and you know. Okay, so as you know, this is just like a brief run through of what we have in the Gospel Masterclass Xtreme course. So if you would like a proper breakdown of all these things, then you should get the course. Now let's talk about neo-soul techniques. Now, neo-soul on its own, it's a very advanced topic and it's not something I can fully cover. However, I'll give you some tips of what you can do with neo-soul. So for neo-soul, first thing you need is a nice electric piano sound to really inspire you. Okay, so you need a nice electric piano sound. And one of the things I taught in the course is how to use major 7th chords to do melodies in such a way that you come up with very nice, interesting chord progressions. Like, for example, I'm in the key of D. So this is what you can do with the melody. Alright, so this is just one of the tricks of what was taught in this course. Other topics discussed in this course are drop 2 chords, diminished chords, mastery, major 7th chords, okay? And in the course, I really discussed advanced ways you can use these things and how you can use them to improve your playing generally, okay? So I want to encourage you to get the Gospel Masterclass Xtreme course, and it's now fully ready after all this month. It's ready, fully available, and trust me, if you get this course, you will be blessed and your playing can never remain the same, okay? So we've come to the end of this video, and I want to say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.